June. How's everybody doing? Hoping everybody have a happy Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. Yay. Um, I want to do a video talking about I've been looking at I noticed that a common theme with black men on YouTube, um, you know, the black men that bash black women on a regular base. That's their whole MO, and they do it on a regular base. Um, they claim to be speaking the truth about black women. You know, I was watching this one YouTuber in particular. He was doing a video. This one, he's always talking about black women all the time. I'm not gonna really mention his name. He just like some of the other black men on YouTube, he routinely bashes black women all the time, talks about black women all the time. Well, he just did a video talking about giving his so-called reasons as to why he talks about black women all the time. He claims that he's speaking the truth about black women, and he says that he's speaking the truth about black women when just about 90% of his videos are about black women. And he claims that he speaks the truth about black women. And if black women are offended by what he says, then we must be talking. He must be talking about us. That if we're offended by what he's saying, then we must be that that what he's talking about. We must be the type of black women that he's talking about if we're offended by what he's saying. Basically try to scapegoat and whatever is basically what he's trying to do. And he also said that he swears up and down that he's speaking the truth about black women, and that he's not talking about all black women, and he's speaking the truth about black women when 90%, almost all of his videos are talking about black women. And they have this saying that if it don't apply, let it fly. Most majority of them have that saying: if it don't apply, let it fly. And if you're offended, well, I must be talking about you. You must be like that. So the issue that I have, and I noticed that's a common thing among most of the black men that bash black women on YouTube. That's a common thing. They always say, if it don't apply, if it doesn't apply, let it fly, that statement. And they're always saying that. Um, this is the issue that I'm having. This guy swearing up and down that he does a whole video talking about, oh well, I'm trying to help black women. I'm talking about the issues that a lot of black women are having, and all this and that and the other. Like black women are the only race of people on the planet that have issues, like as if we're the only race of people. He doesn't 90% of his videos are talking about black women, as if we're the only race on the planet Earth that have issues. You have dysfunctional people in every race. You have bad people in every race. You have good people in every race. So that's that's the first issue right there, right then and there, where he claims that he's talking about the issues that black women have. Well, there's other races of people in this world that have issues besides black women. See, he never talks about racism. See, he never talks about racism, and it's so many issues out there about racism. There's so many issues um, of so many major issues about racism in this world. That is a major problem with black people, is racism. I noticed that he never talks about racism. He never talks about racism. He never talks about, black men have issues too. There's many black men that have issues. He never talks about that. If he does talk about it, it's, you know, he goes back to black women and says it's black women's fault. And he's not the only black man that does that. There's many, many, many black men on YouTube that do that. They claim to be helping black women by coming on YouTube and consistently talking negative about black women. And the issue that I have with this is they say that they're speaking the truth. They claim, they swear up and down that they're speaking the truth about black women. But the problem is that they're always harping on the negative. They're always harping on the negative, what they perceive as the negative aspects of black women. And that's all they talk about. And they're constantly, consistently harping on that. And they never talk about the positive. There's a flip side. There's a flip side to everything. You got, like I said, you got good people and bad people in every race. So they never talk about the millions of good black women that are out there. There are millions of good black women in the world, in this country, but they never talk about the good black women. They always talk about the millions or the percentage of black women that are bad, or what they perceive as bad or negative, or have negative traits or do bad things. And that's all they talk about. See, black women are not, we're not monolithic. We're not one dimensional. There's many different types of black women in this country. And we're not one dimensional. You know, not all of us fit into one box. Not all of us fit into one category. But these men talk about black women as if we do. They talk about black women as if we all do fit into this one box. And that is the issue. That is the problem that I'm having with these black men that consistently come on YouTube and consistently talk about black women all the time. And they claim to be helping black women. And they claim to be speaking the truth about black women. See, if the thing is, if they were really speaking the truth about black women, they would talk about the positives as well as the negatives. They wouldn't just talk about the negatives. They would talk about the positives as well. Because there's many, many black women in this country that are doing great things. The entrepreneurship rate is going up with black women. There are more black women that are starting businesses in this country. If you don't believe me, Google it. Look it up. The entrepreneurship rate with black women is going up. But do they ever talk about that? No. Black women are the most educated of all the races, including white women. Black women are the most educated. Have the highest college enrollment rates. But do they ever talk about that? No, they never speak about that. If they do, they always counter-react it with something negative. If they do talk about it, it gets counter-reacted with something negative. They'll make the statement that we're the most educated or whatever, and then they'll turn around and say something negative, as if to suggest that that's a negative thing. Having an education is a good thing. But when these men talk about black women having an education in relation to or black women having an education, they always say something negative right behind it, as if it's a bad thing. See, they don't think it's a bad thing with other races of people. But then when they talk about black women having an education, they act like it's such a bad thing. So they act like, and all of a sudden it becomes a negative thing when the subject of a black educated women come up. All of a sudden it's a negative thing because they got something negative to say right behind it. So these men are not helping black women. They claim to be helping black women, and they claim that they ain't doing nothing but speaking the truth about black women, but they're not helping the black women. What they're doing is helping the white people stereotype us. What they're doing is helping other races of people bash us and stereotype us and put us all and stereotype us and put us all in one box. That's what they're doing. They're not helping us. Because if they were really speaking the truth about black women, they wouldn't just talk about the negative, they would also talk about the positive. Because sometimes I make videos talking about the negative, the issues. I won't say negative. I don't like to use the word negative. I sometimes do videos talking about the issues, some of the issues that black men have, that black men are having in the community. But I also talk about the positive black men, the black men that are good fathers to their children, the black men that are doing positive things. See, I don't just talk about the negative. I don't just harp on the negative. I don't just harp on the issues that black men are having. I also talk about the black men that are doing positive things. The black men that are good fathers. I'll always make sure I mention positive, not just the negative aspects, not just the issues. I don't just talk about just the issues and that's it. Because yes, there are a certain percentage of black women that do have issues. I will admit, there are a certain percentage of black women that are that are the things that they say. But there also is a large percentage of black women that are good and that are doing good things and that they're doing positive things. There are black single mothers out there that are raising good, productive black children. But they never talk about that. They never talk about it. I was just watching just this evening. I was watching Inside Edition on one of those shows, and there is a little girl that she wrote a children's book. A black little girl that wrote a children's book. And they had her mother, and she wasn't biracial, she was black, a black girl. And a little black girl, and they showed her mother on there, and her mother was talking about how she's teaching her, was taught her good grammar skills and all this kind of stuff. I was just watching that just this evening. I've seen cases of black children becoming entrepreneurs, and they have a black mother to back them up. So those black mothers must have been instilling something positive into these black children, for these black children to do these things, for this little girl to write this book and become an author at such a young age. Her mother must have been instilling, her black mother must have instilled something positive into her. So there are many, many, many cases of black women raising positive and productive children. But they never, ever, ever talk about that. They always talk about the negative. They always talk about the negative. And they swear up and down that they're helping black women. But they never talk about the positive. What they're doing is they're helping other races of people bash us. They're helping other races of people to think negative of us. They're helping other races of people to stereotype us. That's what they're doing. They're helping the other races of people look down on us and think that we're less than. That's what they're doing. They're not helping us. I don't know who they think they're fooling, but they're not fooling me. You're not helping black women when 90% of your videos is talking negative and trash talking black women. What you're doing is you're stereotyping black women just like everybody else does. You're getting in the same box as everybody else in this world does. You're not helping us. So stop saying that you're helping us. What you're doing is you're helping to line your pockets. By coming on YouTube and talking negative about black women, you're getting thousands of subscribes. And out of thousands of those subscribes, it's probably a large percentage of black or white people that get an ego trip off of hearing you talk negative about black women. And a large percentage of those scribes are black men, that bitter black men that hate black women. And in turn, you're gaining a hefty paycheck from YouTube because you come on YouTube always speaking negative about black women and never saying anything positive. So stop saying you're helping black women. You're not helping black women. You're helping yourself. You're helping yourself to line your pockets. And you're helping other races of people stereotype and bash us and look down on us. That's what you're doing. You're not helping us. You're hindering us. You're not helping, you're hindering. That's what you're doing. And you're helping yourself. You're helping yourself to gain popularity and to make money. Because you guys are making money off of putting black women down. And you know you are. So I just wish that these men would stop saying that they're helping us. You're not helping us. Because there's good and bad people in every race. So just getting on your channel and you got 90% of videos talking about black women, and you're not talking about the other issues that's going on in this world. You're not talking about the other issues that's going on in the black community. And when you do talk about those other issues, it all goes back to you blaming black women. When common sense ought to tell you that the man is the head of the woman. And it doesn't. We're not supposed to be the head of anything. Well, check out my video when I'm talking about that. I'm talking about that. Guys, check out that video where I'm talking about that. So I just wanted to set the record straight. I was just looking at this guy's video, and I was looking at him. I was listening to him, how he's swearing up and down, how he's helping black women, and how black women shouldn't get offended by him consistently coming on YouTube, bashing black women and speaking negative. How we shouldn't get offended, and we're getting offended, then he must be talking about us, and like we're supposed to just let. We're supposed to accept this negative talk about black women, and you never say anything positive, and you're always saying negative things about black women. You never talk about the positive. You're not fooling me. I'm sorry, you're not helping black women. You're helping other people, and you're helping yourself. So I just I was watching that, and I just said, well, I think I'm gonna address that. Because a lot of them are claiming to help black women, but they're not. Not always talking negative. If you really were helping black women, then you would not just talk about the negative. And if you did talk about the negative, you would talk about the solutions to the problems. You would try to get down to why these women are the way they are. And you would also talk about the positive. You wouldn't just talk about the negative. So, let me know in the comment section what you guys think. I just wanted to address that. I was watching that guy's video, and him swearing up and down, whatever. He was talking positive or whatever. Or he was trying to help black women and all this kind of stuff. So I think I'm going to address that, because all of them claim to say the same things. When all they're doing is bashing black women on a consistent basis. Helping the whole world to put us all in one stereotypical box and look down on us. And they never talk about the issues. Notice that they never talk about the issues that black men are having. And when they do talk about the issues that black men are having, it always goes back to blaming a black woman. So at the end of the day, we all know that you're bitter. Okay? More interesting video topics coming up. Like and subscribe to my videos. Thank you. This is Sweet Jill.